Okay, folks, you're all very, very welcome to our next vodcast. We've come up with a new name, as we've said, it's video mixed with podcast. So we're calling it vodcast. And after all this week is over, we're definitely going to copyright that and make millions of it. But anyway, we're delighted to be joined by some current presidents of clubs and societies, and also some past presidents and members of clubs and societies to discuss the impact that Clubs and Socs have had on their lives and where they have ended up now. So we're delighted to be joined on the call. We have Theodora, we have Peter, we have Niall, we have Owen, and we have Sam. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? How's things?
It's a weird year, to say the least. I hope everyone is keeping safe and well. Peter, what have you been up to for the last year? We're just over the year now since we went into lockdown on, what was it, March 12th?
Yeah.
It feels like an eternity, but what have you been up to?
I've been lucky in the sense that I've been kept going with work. So I'm working in video, which is what I actually studied in Carlow. I did TV and media there. So I've been working in that freelance, which means I can kind of keep myself floating across a few projects throughout the year, but it's definitely not been anywhere near as busy as I usually would be. So I have been trying just to keep myself going with the regular little bits. The music is obviously big for me, so that has kept me going big time. Playing loads of guitar, playing loads of synths, and just working out things that I never really had the time to do before.
Yeah.
So doing my best just to keep everything afloat and not go too insane, you know yourself, like it's
hard to do that, not to go a little bit insane. We've got 3 lockdowns now, and this one seems to be never ending.
Yeah.
Niall, how has the year been for you? Have you taken up any new hobbies, or what have you been up to?
Yeah, well, within the last year, I put my free time to use and got myself a yoga qualification. So I'm teaching yoga now to mostly GA teams, but I've been doing a few rugby teams.
So could you give us a lesson here now?
We can do it at the end. We can do a quick yoga at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, prepare now. Get your mats out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was actually funny. I was chatting to someone the other day, and they were asking me how I got into it, and I was like, I can't remember. And I'm not just saying it because we're on the podcast, but it was the Clubs and Socs in Carlow paid €2 to sign up for yoga in first year, and I was just hooked. I went every Monday. It was free. It was free for 4 years. Just paid €2 to start the year, and now it's just, it's paid off. So it's funny how things work like that.
You can't say you've got nothing. You've got a degree and a possible job out of it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. Got loads from it.
Fantastic. Owen, how has it been for yourself?
Not too bad. Thankfully, I've been kept busy enough anyway. I work social care, so I study social care down in IT Carlow, and I've been flat out working more than I think I've ever been working over the pandemic, so that's not too bad. Kept going, yeah. Full-time work up here in Dublin with St. Michael's House, and then I'm part-time permanent with the Offaly Centre of Independent Living. So I've been doing a bit there, and sure, look, when I do miss the old music nights then at night time, so seeing it's not doing then anymore, I'm just trying to learn a bit more about the theory side and getting a few lessons just to kind of make myself a better guitarist in theory rather than skill. So happy enough with that, kept going.
I suppose it allows you a bit of time to practice new things and try new things.
It does. Well, I've a little bit of time, but the rest of the year was kind of taken up with trying to organise a wedding in the middle of lockdown. So that was a disaster, to say the least. But we got there in the end, eventually last November.
After how many goes?
3. It was initially June, then we put it off. We said it'd be August, then it was October, and we pulled from that place and we had it in the Anglers Rest out in the Strawberry Beds in November. And we're delighted that we were able to have 25 people there, not 6. So initially from 110, I think it was, down to 25. But sure, look.
Think of the saving.
Well, it was a saving. We can put it into our house now at the end, So And
congratulations from all of us here. Congratulations.
thanks very much. Sure, I'm delighted. I'm a lucky man.
Fair play to you. Sam, how has the year been for yourself?
It's been a bit of a blur, to be honest. Like, it feels like it's just kind of like it was dragging at points, but like it's weird now that it's been like a whole year that we're kind of in this situation, you know. But yeah, I mean, I was in IT Carlow to study software development, so that's what I do now. I'm a software developer, so in that sense, yeah, I'm lucky that we've been able to work from home, and I've been doing that like pretty much since the first lockdown. I've moved a few times in the last year as well, so I'm up in Dublin now. I started the lockdown in the countryside in Rathangan, so County Kildare. So other than that, I don't know. I can't say that anything really significant has happened, to be honest. Just been trying to get by.
How has working from home been for you? Is it tough, or are you just getting used to it?
So in my company, we had a policy for work from home anyway, so we could work up to 2 days from home once you'd been in the company a certain amount of time. So I was already working like 1 to 2 days from home anyway. So it wasn't like brand new to me, but it is weird. Like at first it was great, to be honest. At first I was like, you know, fantastic. I don't have to commute. Like life is good. But yeah, over time it kind of gets a bit
Lonely.
well, yeah, maybe, but also just you can't, you know, there's nobody around you to kind of give you support, like even with just general kind of work things, or just even a bit of like crack in the office is gone, you know. I think it would be okay if things weren't closed around you as well, and you could like meet your friends after work or something. You might still have a sense of there's something going on, but when it's just kind of like, you know, all day, all night at home, it's a bit kind of
it's the weird, simple things that we took for granted.
Yeah.
But soon, hopefully soon, we'll return. Theodora, you're you're the only one on the call that is still currently studying at IT Carlow. How is that going for you? Have you adapted well to the online learning, or has it been difficult?
Well, it's way busier than the previous years because we don't have final exams anymore, so we're full of CAs. You know, even if you want to do the best job, you don't have time for it. So here I am.
Is that better or worse, do you think?
Well, I gained some time from traveling, from commuting, but I'm losing with so many assignments that you know, I have to do. And I wanted to say hi to Sam because I'm a software developer too. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
What year are you in, Theodora?
My final year. I'm 2 months away from being a graduate, and I can't believe it.
And you're graduating on one hell of a year. That's one way to put it. Niall, you've been involved in loads of things when you were at IT Carlow. So what was the course you did?
I done the sports and exercise GAA course,
which then led you into getting involved in GAA with the Clubs and Socs.
Yeah. Of course, that was part and parcel of, you know, going to the course was to play football. I then joined DJ Soc when Peter might have been in his last year. I joined DJ Soc as a first year, and then in my last 2 years, then I was DJ Soc president. So, I got the most out of my college career anyway. So that was DJ Soc. Yoga.
And how did you find it? Did it help you develop as a person? You mentioned there about you're now a yoga teacher, which wouldn't have come about only for Clubs and Socs.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like a load of opportunities presented themselves to me from the DJ Soc. Like one straight off, I met loads of friends, like-minded friends. Like when you're leaving secondary school, you kind of have your friends, but when you move into college, you find your clique of people who are like you. Do you know what I mean? So I found the people who love the same type of music as me. So that was the first thing, was I made some great friends. But a lot of opportunities presented then after that, like obviously opportunities to play gigs, and then from those gigs I got other gigs, which led me down on a path of, you know, pursuing, you know, DJing on the side. So yeah, it definitely presented a lot.
It opened doors.
It opened doors for sure. Yeah.
Owen, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are among royalty here when it comes to the music industry. Your own album and everything. Is this, do you think, as a result of Clubs and Societies? Can you thank IT Carlow for your huge success?
I can thank IT Carlow for a lot of support, and I certainly I started my songwriting journey down in IT Carlow anyway. I remember living in was it Pembroke Row or
Yeah.
Brook Avenue, one or the other. My first haunt down in Carlow, and writing some of my first songs there. And like that, I forget his name. Sorry,
Niall.
Mr. Yoga Man.
Neil.
Niall down. Like you were saying yourself, you meet people who are into the same music. Yeah, you click with people down there. Welcome to, the new world down here in college of IT Carlow. It was great to get support from those people saying like, hey, those songs are good, like keep up that, which was great fun. Great to have a bit of support, making some friends, and as Niall said himself, you end up doing a few gigs. Someone is going, here, will you play my 21st? Will you play my 18th? And then all of a sudden you're playing down the pubs then after that as well. People asking you to play some gigs. So ended up learning a load of songs to play some covers and to play some covers in the pubs. But then people were saying, listen, your own tunes are good. You should be playing them in the pubs as well too. And then the next year, I guess, once I left Carlow, I finished up my Bachelor of Arts in Social Care, and I came back down the next year. Straight after, I got a residency in O'Loughlin's for the year, and I did a gig there every Wednesday. And I guess through that, I saved up and did an album. Then after that, and I came down the next year, and I think it was Ian Hannon, Mark Grinsell, a good few. By Jesus, I had some support behind me, to be honest with you, flogging that album. I think I must have got rid of about 550 CDs in my first weekend down in Carlow. It was great.
I'm curious, do you find, because I know we did interviews with various different clubs and society members and leaders, and a lot of them said that they're closer as friends with those that they met in clubs and societies more so than their college course. Did you find that, or was it much of a muchness?
I would say, to be honest, I'm very close with, and was very close with the people I clicked with in my college course. Now, there was a lot of good people in my college course, but to this day, some of those people were the 25 at the wedding as well. So, sorry there.
Who lost out on seats, I'm wondering?
There's still a few from the class that I would have loved to invite it there as well now too. Sorry there.
Peter, how, I suppose you've been involved as well as DJ Society, both as president and then as a member. How did you find that, building connections, and then where it has led you to where you are now?
I definitely say from the get-go, being a part of the society first and foremost was kind of like the outlet for the crack in a way, like as in it was like the outlet for like, okay, here's something that I'm really into, which is music and DJing and whatever, and then here's like another 2, 3, 4 lads who are also mad into it, like, and we've all got this thing that we can get together once a week and do together and just like be like nerd out on that thing. So it was kind of like that in the beginning, where it was just this outlet for me to just have the crack and be like totally into what it was. And then when it became to the level where I was actually the president of it, it taught me a lot in terms of managing myself, managing other people. Like, as in, I remember we had a night, and we used to do the Monday nights in Tully's, and it was, when I was in my third year, it was like peak Tully's vibes. We were smashing every Monday, and and the big student night was getting us, like, we were giving it a run for the money. Wednesday nights were like in jeopardy because we were smashing it. And anyway, then O'Loughlin's, was it O'Loughlin's? No, Scraggs came to me in my fourth year and said to me, we'll now pay you to play on the Monday night with us. So now I was presented with this like business situation where I had to like manage the relationship I had with Tully's, manage this new prospective relationship with Scragg, and not make a mess of any of that. And so there was, between building relationships with the people in the society as well as having to manage something as large as the society, it was like a huge thing in terms of experience. And that's then kind of led me into now working as a freelance filmmaker and having a few lads who I would kind of manage in a similar way to the way I would have managed lads in the society. You know, we're all just kind of a part of a clique of lads who do the same thing, and we now just get paid to do it rather than get given free pints. Like, so
Yeah.
it
It paid off.
Yeah. So it's definitely led itself into what I'm at now, and I have some crack. It was just the crack was unbelievable. Like,
And it's great to see that your course, which was TV and media, which I did myself, that you're able to continue that and able to bring that in as your career.
yeah, totally. I feel lucky in that sense because I'm definitely one of the only few people from my course who are still working in Ireland. A lot of people from my course have to go to London or have to go to Dubai or have to go to wherever to get work in that industry. So I've been lucky in that sense that I was one of the ones who got work here and just found a little niche and kind of like burrowed my way into that for a while. And so yeah, it's been a blessing, but definitely, like, I mean, it's not just a case of me having done the course and came out and gone straight into a job. It was a culmination of having the course and the society and all of those things, the DJ and everything I was at, that has kind of led me now to being able to work freelance full time. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's it was all one experience that funneled into itself, like
all connected in some way. Sam, you were involved as well in music society, a bit like myself. I thoroughly enjoyed going down and doing open mic nights and tullies and stuff like that. How did you find it? Did it help you develop as a person, meet new friends, like-minded people, as Owen said?
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially I think when I came down, the first time I was in music society was my first year in the college. So it was like coming down, not really knowing that many people, and yeah, like you say, you come in and you get to meet some people who are kind of into the same thing. So like I made a lot of good friends in the first year just from kind of doing the music society and everything like that. And especially for me, I was commuting from like Kildare or something, so it was kind of a nice way to kind of get
down. You had to commute each day.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a nice way to kind of, I suppose, experience Carlow a bit more than, just kind of, and integrate with some people. So in that sense, it was really good. And then I guess like when I was the president in third year, I suppose Theodora probably know that in your third year in software development, you wind up, or I don't know if it's the same now, but it was then, you go on an internship halfway through the year. So I think around February or something you finish up. So I was kind of obviously missing a little bit towards the end of the year, but when I was there involved in it every week, it was great because you had that kind of thing where new people coming, maybe people who hadn't like performed before, and had a lot of nerves and a lot of kind of jitters about going up and everything, and it was just great to see people getting to, I suppose, getting around each other and supporting each other to go up and kind of and have that first experience, because I guess I'm fortunate in the sense that I've been playing like music since I was like a kid, and I kind of never really thought about that too much. But then when it comes to that situation where somebody's going up for the first time and you can kind of feel and see how like nervous or whatever they are, and just then getting over that, and then every week coming and like thriving and learning new stuff, it's really great. So
yeah, that was probably. Do you play?
I play guitar and sing
okay.
mainly, yeah.
So were you involved then in the likes of open mic nights and stuff like that? Did you form a band? I know that, did we have a band? I think we had a band when we were going with the music and band. There was kind of like an in-house band that used to play all the open mics. Was that the same for yourself, or how did you manage that?
Yeah, I think like a few of us played different instruments. So I can play like bass and drums and a few bits as well. So like whatever was there, we would kind of swap in and out and just kind of have a bit of crack with it. Like
now you're just showing off, really, Sam. Please.
No, but it wasn't. There was similar people in similar situations, and it was great that everyone got to go up and kind of. That was the great thing about it. I think it was kind of like quite judgment free in a sense. You know what I mean? Like everybody at all levels could come up and just like kind of really enjoy it. So I like that about it. And as for myself, then yeah, I play in a band as well. I've been playing in the same band since I was about 18. So yeah, so that didn't change too much. But it definitely, like going down and playing in the society every week in Tully's. We did Tully's Tuesdays, I think, from what I remember. So yeah, it was great, like to be able to pull like one or two of the lads down to come and play with us, or like try some stuff out, like see how things kind of went with like a different crowd, So it was great, yeah.
Good. Theodora, you're, as we said, the only person here that's currently still studying. What am I saying? Studying at IT Carlow. How are you finding? So you're the president of the Women in Technology
Yeah.
Society. How are you finding balancing the workload of final year and other years, I assume as well, while managing the society as well? How do you do it?
Well, first of all, I feel like a geek. Like all these boys, they've been in like so fun societies. Mine, it's all correlated with technology. I feel a bit different. My society is orientated about the career. So, being home and not being there to meet with my girls, I do some tutoring online, helping the girls to get their best, what's best from their CVs, what projects to work on, and how to integrate themselves in the industry. Because it seems there is a little problem with women in tech. Not so much lately, thanks God. So this year, I'm not so involved as much as I wanted to when I got the award, but I can say my internship got canceled because of COVID-19, and because of the society, I was able to get interviews with so big companies and succeed in some. So being a society focused on career, it helped a lot. It really opened so many doors when it comes to my career. So I'm really grateful about that. And
So
I didn't want to join at the beginning, so.
yeah, but you're saying that you found the society helped you with your interviews, say with big companies. They looked at that on your CV. Did that help? Did it?
That helped, and all the trips that we did for the big companies where we were networking with people who are already in there, and they're opening doors for people like us in college. It really helped a lot. And the society grew with 80% in the last 4 years. We were very, very small at the beginning. We were, I think, 8 girls. Now we are over 30. So I think it really works.
Yeah, but it's fantastic to see. And I think the whole celebration of Clubs and Socs Week for this year, we're trying to, I suppose, focus on the fact that, college isn't just about going and getting the degree. It is going and developing as a person. And the way you do that is through your society. So the way Theodora or Sam or Peter said there, that they develop their management skills, interpersonal skills, and it's fantastic. It's what clubs and societies are all about. And Theodora, you're also, you were involved in the awards ceremony, I believe.
Yeah.
And I hear you did very well.
I did. I was chosen the ambassador as well. We really rocked in IT Carlow. I'm gonna miss this place so much.
And what does it mean for you as a person to be able to get an award? What does it say? Is it a sense of achievement, or is it a nice recognition of the work that you've done?
So it's a recognition, and it's thrilling to get such an award. But what's really more interesting is that I finished software development, and there are people on LinkedIn messaging me if I want to lead their society groups in companies about women in tech. And like, if I'm thinking about myself, I don't have any training in that. It's just what society gave me, and they still want me there. So imagine the how big is my future ahead. Like, I can choose from software development, which is amazing, and then work with women in technology all over the world. That's amazing as well.
As a result of clubs and societies. You're saying all the right things, Theodora, a fantastic ambassador. I suppose, Peter, have you ever been involved in the awards ceremony yourself, or did you ever get to go? It is one hell of a night.
I don't think I was ever involved in the awards ceremony. The only thing I remember being awarded or anything of that sort was that we took part in like a kind of like national DJ.
Intervarsities type?
Yeah, kind of intervarsities for DJing, which is a funny concept when you think about it. Like,
so how does that work? So how does a competition for DJs work? Does it go by what you mix?
There was a couple of years of it. I remember one year it was like heats, where it was like you'd go and DJ like in your opponent's town, like that was gas, to be honest. But we got a good few nights out of that. And I remember one in Waterford was particular crack. But we eventually then, the year that I was kind of running that, I can't remember whether, I remember being a part of this thing 2 years in a row. But anyway, one of the years, whether I was running it or not, I can't remember, but it was up in Twisted Pepper in Dublin, which is now called Wigwam, another club. But it was a big club at the time, and all of the societies from different parts of the country came and had one representative play like 20 minutes maybe of a set. And then there was judges on the night who were like whatever, maybe like a radio DJ, and then like
industry experts, yeah,
whoever they were. And I remember I think we won it one year and came second the next year. Whatever it was, we did well, like. And I remember it just being brilliant because at the time I would have been quite heavily involved in a scene in Dublin. I would have been DJing a lot in Dublin anyway. But that was kind of a very cliquey, very kind of underground, very like cool kids kind of thing, right? And then
I wouldn't fit in, is what you're trying to say.
well, like realistically, I shouldn't have fitted in a way, but I was trying my best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I would come to that same. I was like the two worlds colliding. You know, when I got down to Carlow, I would have to crack in. You could play whatever you wanted, and there was none of this kind of clickiness about it. So then when I got to take that to literally like the mecca of the clubs in Dublin. And do this thing that we've been doing for the last few years down in Carlow was like this freeing moment where I was like, oh my God, okay, I need to like just forget about all this other shite that's going on here in Dublin and go for this, like. But so it was like a great personal lesson as well as
an achievement in such.
Yeah.
Owen, were you ever involved in awards, or I believe there was an IT factor as well, you know, throughout the years? Did you ever get involved in that?
Yeah, Jesus, what was the name of the pub? Some underground pub in Ireland. Forget the name of it. It was jam-packed full of people, and there was some sort of competition there. I ended up winning it and representing Carlow for the IT Factor, all right.
So the IT Factor was a national thing?
It was, yeah, it was. I remember Father Martin and the Ents, Emma Hayden, Gary Flannery, and a lot of people at the time organising this huge coach, and we all went down to, I think it was like Letterkenny or something, but
that was a trip.
Hadn't the way back on that bus anyway.
Yeah.
The end of the night was a bit of a blackout, but I remember that day and that night, like it was one of those days, you know, the sun was just shining, the atmosphere, the temperature, the crack was mighty. I played well and I got on well, and Jesus, it was just a great experience in total, you know. After I think it was the end of first year. It was my first year in college, so it was a nice way to wrap up the year as well too, and say that, you know. So
it was like Eurovision, only not as cheesy.
It was IT Carlow does Eurovision now. Yeah, I didn't have you know, my wingsuit on.
Yeah, look, we couldn't afford it probably back then. Maybe that's.
No, I had the cap on backwards. That was me.
I think that was the crave though back then.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Sam, did you ever get involved in the Clubs and Society Awards or any InterVarsity performances or anything like that?
I don't think I did, to be honest. I think the IT Factor, I think maybe the first year we had that on campus, I remember being involved in that. And then other than that, just kind of speaking of like opportunities and stuff that came up out of the society was actually Father Martin used to, well, I'm sure he still does, but he would have various kind of like things, like ceremonies or whatever happening in the college throughout the year.
Still does, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, he always had a slot there for me after maybe, I think when I started doing that, and he kind of knew who I was or whatever. I think my downfall in the society thing was that my taste in music is very like depressing, basically very quiet and like, you know, not really suitable for tullies, you know. So
yeah, but it suits certain things, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah. And I think like what Father Martin was doing on campus, I think he knew I could come in and hit the sad notes and then get out. Basically.
Did you ever do? Was it the dinner they used to do, the senior citizens dinner at Easter? Did you ever do that with the band?
I might have, yeah. I recall being at a dinner, all right. Yeah, I think I might have done that.
That was a fantastic experience, I must say, every year. Neil, did you ever get involved in any, well, I suppose with the GA, you would have been involved in numerous trips and wins, I would assume. Were you a good team or?
Our team was the first team to make it to Sigerson weekend.
Congratulations.
2015, I think. Now I wasn't playing; I was warming the bench, but I was there.
No. You were playing. You were playing.
I was a key member of the team. We'll say
there
that.
You go.
Yeah, I like Peter. I played at that InterVarsities thing, the DJ competition in the Twisted Pepper, and yeah, it's a fond memory because that club is gone. Well, like I know Wigwam is there, but it's a different vibe out of it. Yeah, so I hold that memory close.
And did you ever get to go to the awards? No.
Yeah, the Clubs and Socs ball. Yeah, some crack, absolutely mighty crack. We had a good crew in third or fourth year. We had a good solid crew that year in the DJ Soc, and yeah, we went and it was class crack. Really, really good fun. I remember at one stage, I was so embarrassed as well. I was I was playing air guitar in front of all the lecturers. These are all the lecturers that I would have had. I was there playing air guitar on the dance floor in front of them. And I remember the next day just walking through the college with my head down, just so embarrassed.
But look, it's like what happens on tour stays on tour. It'll never be spoken about again, apart from this video podcast, which will go across all the socials of IT Carlow. So congratulations, thanks a million for that beautiful story.
I'm sure they remember it.
I'm just curious. So we're now obviously, I mean, we're hopefully going to be coming out of this pandemic in the next couple of months. What's the future hold? What's the plan? Are you going to set up a yoga studio? Are you going to continue with the GAP? What's the plan?
Well, I worked as a games promotion officer with Mead Coaching and Games, which is basically what my degree in Carlow was prepping me for. So I worked for about 3 years at that. And then from that, I decided that I wanted to go into primary school teaching. So last year I went back and done my Irish Leaving Cert to get what I needed to go into primary school teaching. So now at the minute, I'm not a qualified teacher, but I'm a sub-primary school teacher. So.
And how are you finding that?
Good. I love it. Because of COVID, there's lots of work for people like me who are unqualified, but really enjoying it. So that's what's on the horizon, is trying to get another college qualification.
Okay, one wasn't enough for you.
One wasn't enough to go for two. Yeah.
Peter, obviously you're continuing with your work as well, but have you any immediate plan? You'd probably like to get a bit more work in the filming and stuff. I'm surprised you're saying though that you were kind of mediocre with work. Did you not find the pandemic open new opportunities?
It didn't. It was up and down. Like it's now look, this is always the case in the industry, but it's like you're on for maybe a month at a time and it's absolutely up the walls, like, and then you might have a quiet period of a month or whatever. So it's very much been that for the last year. Anything I have ended up doing is people coming to me who are going, right, we usually do like events, or we do education, or we do something where we have large groups of people in one spot, and we can't obviously do that now, so we need to put that all online to video. So that's literally been the story of my life now for the last year. But yeah, moving forward, I mean, it looks like everything is getting a little bit brighter, and there's some projects that I have video is lined up that are going to be a little bit more freeing and don't seem so COVID related, which is kind of exciting. And then I as I mentioned as well, I'm big into the music and I write and play a lot of music, and I'd be just buzzing to get back to, first of all, see a gig, and then second of all, hope to play a gig at some stage in the future, because I got to play a great one just right before the lockdown last year, and it was like gave me a little bit of the bug of like, right, if I was to get into this properly, gigging is just such a buzz, you know. So so I'd love to get back into that. That's a plan for the future, a bit of traveling, a bit of whatever. But
it's gas, isn't it, to think that we all took it for granted, going to a concert, going to a restaurant, just even to go for a walk down to the beach or drive down to the beach. It's gas when you think about it. Owen, what's the plan for yourself? Are you bringing out a new album? Will we expect to see on the charts in the next few months?
Well, there's a bun cooking in the oven upstairs there with my wife, so I'd imagine I'm going to have a pretty hectic year ahead of me raising my kids. So I don't think I'll be working on an album, but I'd imagine there'll be plenty of inspiration from it. So give me a couple of years to raise them right, and then I might write a couple of songs about them then, you know.
Yeah, and just remember now, all of us on this call, you know, when you become famous and multi-millionaire, you know.
That was never the plan.
If you're looking for a manager as well, I mean, I could do you a good deal now, you know.
Sorry, I'll be sticking to the day job.
And best look before, in case we forget, best wishes with everything, especially with the new marriage. Sam, what's the plan for yourself? Obviously, probably still working from home. Hopefully, you get back to the office soon. Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, for myself, before the pandemic, my band and I had recorded an album and spent a long time kind of working on it. And yeah, that was a really like exhausting process, to be honest. And you know, I we put a lot of work into it, and I was kind of really looking forward to putting that out. But with everything that's happened, it's kind of been on a bit of a back burner now. It's kind of sitting in a Google Drive folder somewhere, mastered and ready to go. But we've 1 or 2 singles released already, and we're kind of, I suppose, now just trying to put things together to get all that out there once things open up a little bit. Yeah, would love to see a gig as well at some point. A lot of good ones that I was hoping to see, but yeah, we'll have to hopefully
But
maybe
I
this
think
year.
it will bounce back. I don't think it's even going to come back at a slow rate. The live music / events industry, I think, is going to bounce back, and you'll be playing. You won't be able to keep up with the amount of gigs that you could be playing.
Yeah, well, I think even like looking online and everything with like different communities, whatever you be involved in, you can see people like musicians are raring to go. They're just kind of like waiting for the moment that they get the chance to go out and play a few gigs, because it is like it's a real high going to play a gig. You know, I think the last one, like Peter, you were saying your last gig, we got like a last minute kind of New Year's gig, and that was just honestly like one of my favorite gigs I ever played. You know, it wasn't really much of our original stuff or anything. It was more of just like a set of kind of like whatever David Bowie and stuff like that, but it was just such good, everyone was in such good crack. And I remember leaving that night thinking like just really buzzed, you know. And then we haven't played a gig since, you know. That was like 2019 or something. So yeah, can't wait.
Do you do David Bowie impressions? Do you?
No.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see
I'm
it.
not fighting.
I think, did David Bowie have a beard? No, I don't think he did. No. Yeah. Theodora, obviously you have not necessarily exams, but you have a couple of CAs to finish. What's the plan then? Have you jobs lined up, interviews? Are you going to do a graduate program? What's the plan?
So I do have some offers, but I didn't decide yet. One of the things that I'm going to do for sure, hopefully next year, I am going to go to Kenya, because I begin to tutor some kids virtually from Kenya about programming and, you know, tech stuff. So when the COVID is over, I can't wait to go and actually meet them and see how is Africa. And about the career, most probably dabbling.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. There's the tech
I'm
industry.
curious, where did the whole Kenya thing come out? That's a fantastic initiative.
Again, from LinkedIn. I was very busy with college. I didn't really have time to search for these kind of things. But somebody did message me, and they told that I was a volunteer in Coder Dojo in IT Carlow. They saw that I have some experience with the kids, not a lot. And they said, would you like to try this? They have kids from 4 years to 17. So it's something very new for me, and I'm very excited about it.
Fantastic. Right, well, look, unfortunately we're coming to the end, but I have one final thing that I want you to do as past and present leaders. Starting with Peter, why should a 4th, 5th or 6th year who's thinking of coming to IT Carlow and whatever else, why should they join clubs and societies? In a brief sentence, why would you encourage students to get involved? Peter?
I suppose we kind of touched on it earlier, but it is just that sense of like finally connecting with the people who are into the same thing as you are. You know, like it's a bit of a lucky dip who you end up in a course with or in a class with or whatever. But when you go to the Clubs and Socs, it's like this is me gang here. Like this is, you know what I mean? So you're guaranteed to find some friends and some people that you'll bond with and have for life, really. So that would be my thing with it.
Okay, fantastic. Owen, what's your message?
Join a society, meet some likeable people, make some memorable memories with some cool mates. They'll stick by you. throughout Carlow. If you choose to go to IT Carlow, they'll also make sure you stay in college if you waver away, and you'll do the same to them if they start to waver away too, which is a great thing about clubs and societies, because you meet mates who always have your back, and also it's great crack.
Fantastic. Neil?
Yeah, what the boy said, it was all about the friendships, and some of the connections that you make they're just priceless. And of course, like the lessons that you learn, like some of the doors that have opened for myself personally from joining Clubs and Socs for €2 have paid off. So definitely friendship and the doors that the Clubs and Socs open.
Well worth the money is what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure, £2.
Sam, why would you encourage people to get involved with clubs and societies?
Yeah, I think it's all kind of mostly been said, but yeah, definitely I think it's a no-brainer. Like college is more than just going and doing a course. It's like making lifelong friends and experiencing, where you're going to college and all that it has to offer. So I mean, definitely join a club and a sock, or a club or a sock, both. Join both.
Yes, join both. Join them all. Join them all. Theodora, why would you encourage people to get involved? And I think you're definitely proof of the pudding that it's worthwhile to get involved.
Yeah, well, the guys kind of said everything. It's very fun. It's opening a lot of doors. It's very well worth it. And college is not just about books. So definitely coming to Carlow, definitely join at least one society.
I tell you one thing, the IT Carlow will hire ye as like ambassadors over the next few weeks. They'll be delighted with it. Folks, unfortunately, we have come to the end, but I want to take this opportunity to wish Theodora, Peter, Neil, Sam and Owen all the very best. Thank you to Martin, Father Martin, for setting this up. And I think it's lovely to see faces. So many times when we're on these meetings with Zoom and Microsoft Teams, whatever it is, you're looking at blank screens. So we would have loved to have done this in person, but unfortunately, due to the current restrictions, we can. But I want to wish everyone here the very best with whatever the future holds. I hope all your careers, whether they're starting off or continuing, I hope they are good for you. And sincerely thank you all for taking the time to be with us for our Clubs and Societies Week for 2021. And if you want to check out any of our Clubs and Societies content, check out all of the IT Carlow socials and the sports socials, the union socials, whatever else, and the website as well. And you can just check out all the videos, podcasts, opening, closing ceremonies on there. So thank you again, folks, and stay safe.